Hey, welcome back to Gearheads. Today I just wanted to do a quick video. I was thinking about my 350Z turbo project and I realized that I'd never mentioned like the 5 hidden costs that I didn't really think about before purchasing my turbo kit. Okay, to save a little time, I'm just going to tell you the 5 things right away and then we'll kind of talk about them. The first one is like fuel pump injectors and fuel system modification. The second one is you need a bigger mass airflow sensor or something that can handle the extra airflow. Number 3 is you're going to need some way to tune it, like a computer or a reflash. Number 4 is, I don't know why, but none of these kits tend to fit correctly, so we end up refabricating at least some portion of the kit along the way. So fabrication and other, related adjustments to the kit. And then 5 is kind of a couple things. You really need some heat control. You'll have to pull your AC out of the car and put it back in. You'll have to rewrap piping. You'll need probably a bigger radiator. I'm about to upgrade mine because I can drive for a while, but on a really hot day I still kind of run hot. And then possibly even an oil cooler and then maybe even a catch can to kind of handle all the cylinder pressure and the new heat of the motor. So that's your 5 basic things. Just to recap: fuel system, mass airflow, computer and tuning, some fabrication related stuff like cutting and fitting the kit, and heat and or other cooling mods that you'll need as well. So I'll just kind of tell you what I did on my car because I feel like that would work for basically anybody. The first thing I mentioned was your fuel system. I decided to just kind of keep it simple and do an AEM 340 intake pump. The benefit to that was it was the biggest pump that you can put in your tank that you don't have to run an external relay, and it can still run E85 if you do the green one. And it's quite a capable pump. Like back in the day we used to make 500 horsepower on a Walbro 255, so a 340 is way bigger than that, and it's just generally awesome. So they make way bigger pumps. A lot of them don't fit, or you'll have to relay it and just adds a level of complication. I ended up going with 1000cc injectors because I thought at some point I might put ethanol in here. You could do like a GTR injector. That's also an affordable option, but whatever you end up doing with your injector, just make sure it's an injector that works well with a 350Z because the tuning's a little weird with them, and make sure like whoever's tuning the car, get their recommendation first. So fuel pump and injector is pretty simple. I think the AEM pump's like $100. Injectors can range from like 200 to about like $700, something like that, depending on which ones you get. Thing number 2. Okay, the next thing I'll just show you on the car. Obviously when you upgrade to boost, all the air going through your mass airflow sensor is more than there normally was, so the sensor won't read far enough to read very much boost at all. You'll kind of max it out right away. So you can buy a new mass airflow sensor. They're about $300, or you can do something like we did. We actually built this in-house. This is a MAF booster. It has electronics built into this little piece that goes between your MAF and the main harness, and this piece allows us to change where the scaling is and make it so that it can read up to about 15 pounds of boost or so. We sell these things. They're $75, and it's way cheaper option than actually having to buy like a whole mass airflow sensor. So that's a cool option. But you can buy MAFs. They're about $300, but that's another hidden cost that you don't really think about when you're putting your turbo kit on. Okay, so the next thing is the tuning. Like everybody obviously knows, you have to get tuned. You'll have to at least buy some type of tuning platform, whether it be a standalone ECU or like UpRev or something like that. And you'll have to find a tuner or somebody that can at least either send you a file or remote tune or a dyno tuner close to you to deal with the tuning aspect. With a Nissan 350Z, you really got to make sure that you find somebody that tunes these cars often because they're a bit different than most other cars, and if they're not an expert on this motor or this platform, the tuning is a little weird and I don't know, things could go bad really quickly. Like obviously I'm making 400 horsepower, I've been driving around for quite a while, and it's because I have a lot of experience with this particular car and turboing, so I know exactly where I can put the tune, So they just got to be really, really careful. These motors are a little fragile. The rod and the piston do come apart. That's another cost that you're really going to have to deal with, and it's not that easy to find somebody that can tune these, so maybe start looking for that before you buy your turbo kit. Okay, the fourth thing is fabrication. So when we did the install of this kit, there's a few things we had to address. Like we had to open up the Y pipe and port it out so that we get even flow through both banks of cylinders into the turbo. We had to extend some piping. We had to change some angles of a few things. We ended up changing the charge pipe a bit, the intercooler. We had to change like a little bit of the piping down here. There's just like a bunch of little things we had to cut and extend and weld. Not like everything on the kit, but a few things on the cold side and a few things on the hot side, and that pretty much got the kit to fit really well. So you just have to know, like maybe get in touch with a fabricator or somebody if you run into a problem, somebody that can at least weld your piping back together if you need to cut it and modify it. Because I haven't had one fit correctly yet, so just keep that in mind. Okay, the fifth and final thing is, heat control. And this is something I'm still struggling with a little bit right now. The car runs great. On a cold day, I can drive it around with pretty much no issues, but I live in the warm weather, so like on days where it's 90, 100 degrees, the factory radiator has not been totally adequate. I upgraded the fans, and that didn't really help much at all. You're gonna need possibly a bigger radiator and some better fans at least. An oil cooler is a super good idea. And then, like some heat wrap on your downpipe, and as much heat control items as you can do. These already run hot. And the last thing is kind of in that same group. These cars will build crankcase pressure, and the factory PCVs tend to fail or leak just a little bit all the time. So if you boost your car and you start noticing that the valve cover gasket is leaking, it's probably due to crankcase pressure. Just keep in mind, you'll probably need some kind of heat control, radiator, heat wrap, and catch can. That's like the fifth thing. So other than that, really the turbo project went pretty smooth. But I just figured I'd make you guys kind of aware of those 5 things, so you don't have to, you kind of know what you're getting into when you go boost on your 350Z. All right, this pretty much concludes this video. I just wanted to share a few things that I learned from turboing my 350Z, kind of catch you guys up to speed with what it takes to do it. And it's just a short, quick video, just to help anybody that's going turbo soon on their car. So anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Okay, last random thing before I actually go. My friend has an Acura Integra, and I changed his tune file a bit the other day because he wanted to pop and burgle, burble tune, all that stuff, like, little flamies to come out. And I just gotta show you guys a video of how rowdy this is, because I do it on the Z's all the time, but like, don't usually do it on a Honda, but this Honda is pretty cool with it. Let me just get you a video and you guys can see for yourself.